too complex for me, for my thinking. Hey, you know who I saw this weekend?
Who? Vincent
I
Gallo.
saw Vincent Gallo. That's right. Yeah, there was
Do
a
you want to talk
very.
about that? What was that called? The New York group that hipster group from New York. What's it called?
Are you talking about Dime Square?
Yes, your Dime Square event. Do you want to talk about that? Are you allowed to speak about
I'm
that?
not allowed to speak about it,
Oh,
but
okay.
here's what I know because our friend of the show, Kino from the Kino Corner, as he likes to introduce himself to
Yeah.
people, was a part of the event organizing team. You had to sign an NDA to get in. That was Vincent Gallo's request. But yeah, it was a very cool, like 6 hour event where they screened. They screened a. It was just him making out with some girl on the beach for the most part. A lot of kissing shots, a lot of smooching,
Nice.
and also
Japanese
the.
girl?
No, it was a white girl,
Oh.
and it also featured a. So it was a pretty limited viewing. I was personally hoping for a screening of Promises Written in Water. This is 2010 film he never released.
So was that what the event was? Just him showing some of his stuff?
He showed the. I mean, I don't think he really cared about what was being shown. He showed up, and it was supposed to be a Q&A that was conducted by Alex Lee Moyer, who directed TFW No GF and Alex's War. She did not show. There was no word as to why she wasn't there. But there were a lot of like B, C tier online famous people in the audience. I recognized like 8 or 9 people from different podcasts, from different universes. I was like, oh, this is weird. Nobody
No.
knows who I am.
Yeah.
Kino knew who I was. That was about it. Actually, I ran into one of Stahn's guys, and he was like calling out to me. I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy? I don't know who this is." He's like, "Hey, you're LowRes, right?" I was like, "Yeah."
You're like, yeah, I'm LowRes
Oh,
from LowRes Wonder Bread.
yeah. I'm LowRes from Movies, a podcast about the act of cinema. And then I was just making conversation with him. He was at the front of the line because I showed up with Spencer and Mike, who were our special effects team. They came to New York for a day, and our hangout, unfortunately, was like exclusively limited to getting to the event. You know, a lot of stuff fell apart. Anthony Cisco could not go to the event, and he was supposed to meet up with Spencer and myself and Kino was hanging out with these dudes from Vinegar Syndrome and a couple of other distributors. All know each other, and they're all under that Vinegar Syndrome umbrella. So we were all heading out to Soho from Manhattan. The trains weren't running right or anything. It was a total mess. And so we were just basically, it was like an episode of The Amazing Race, but they didn't have tickets to the event. So they're just kind of escorting me to the event. We're just
Oh.
chit chatting stuff and taking photos as we go. I,
Did
I
Anthony
felt
have a ticket?
Anthony did have a ticket. He had to give his ticket away.
Oh.
I did not see Anthony that day. That was unfortunate. I hope everything is well with Anthony. So I ran into Kino. Kino is not a short guy. Kino actually, he was in a turtleneck and a jacket, and he
Hmm.
just he popped up behind the bars of this fence and didn't leave from behind the bars. He was just talking to everybody from behind the bars. It was a very Kino thing to do. And similar to Cisco, first thing he says to me when I get in there, he's like, "Oh, you're tall." It's like yeah.
I get that. I've got, well, I mean, I haven't really met a lot of people that I've only interacted with online, but the couple of people that I've met in person, they're always like, "Oh, I thought you'd be like 5'5". And I'm like, what about this gives you the impression that I'm like a little guy, you
No,
know?
you look about not your height, but you look maybe a little less than your height, which is still tall. And I think you were the tallest guy out of the entire, was
Until
it the
Spencer
entire
got
cast
there.
and crew?
I think Spencer
Mm,
is taller than me. Isn't Tim a little bit taller than me too? I
I think
think.
Tim's just got very good posture. I
All
think if
right.
you just kept your back straight,
Yeah. Yeah, that's my
you'd
thing. If
outdo
if
Tim.
my hunch doesn't allow me to
Hmm.
to wait, hunch, is that what that's called? When you're a
Yeah,
hunchback? Yeah.
sure.
My the
So
ball
yeah,
behind my neck. Yeah.
uh, I didn't get to talk to Kino too much outside of that, and also the after party to the event was canceled because
hmm.
there was a 50-something-year-old man who snuck a phone in and started recording Vincent Gallo, and that he got caught.
That was
They
Anthony Cisco.
they confiscated his phone. They deleted the video, and according to Kino, he had a whole lot of porn that was saved up on there. So that's a little embarrassing.
Mm.
Mm.
So he just ruined it for everyone.
I get. I mean, well, the Q&A, all the meat of it, the real shit, that was done. Um, then they had an after party downstairs. That was not really my scene. That was a very Gen Z kind of. I was surprised at how many like 18, 19-year-old
Mm.
people were in attendance. Somebody during the Q&A said they were 16 years old. And there were some famous faces. I saw Peter Vack of Private Chat and Assholes there. I saw
That's
the
what's up.
Ion Pack. Are you familiar with the Ion Pack at all?
Nope.
They all have
So
a
it's,
very similar look, you know.
let me guess. It starts with a J.
No, we're not going to
No, no.
Kanye this podcast here. Uh,
Okay. It
who,
starts with New Yorker.
yeah, we're very New York.
Right. Okay.
I saw Marcus Pinland Empire on Twitter.
Nice.
Who else did I see? I feel like I'm overlooking somebody here because there were like I counted like 7 or 8 people that I recognized from the internet that were in the crowd and at the party.
Wait, they go Paul Schrader on their show?
They got Paul Schrader, they got Jonah Hill. When they got Jonah Hill, they got everybody else afterward. And I was not a fan of these guys originally, but after their Paul Schrader interview and then listening to their review of Triangle of Sadness, I actually quite enjoy their show. So my opinion has changed on the Ion Pack. Somebody
Because of Paul
else
Schrader.
because of Paul Schrader, which apparently, well, they said during their follow up episode to the Paul Schrader one that they had to break and he had to go walk to the liquor store to resume the interview or something.
Nice.
So that's Paul Schrader, everybody. Yeah.
We should
So
get him on the show. I mean, you're probably gonna need him to come over to your place.
no,
But
I would have to go to upstate New York. He was selling a
oh,
table, and I was very tempted to just make the trip to go get the table. I don't
just
need
so
the
you can meet
table.
him. Yeah, just so you can talk to him.
It was a free table too. He said it was, I think it was a couple $1,000 that table, and he wanted to just get rid of it. He's got some interesting things happening with him, health
Yeah.
wise and woman wise. I guess
Yeah.
always woman wise, but
Yeah. No.
let me think of like the most interesting thing I can probably share from the event. Um,
Did you stay the whole time? 6 hours?
yeah, yeah. I didn't get home until about 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I did not stick around for the after party, and I mean, it didn't go anywhere anyway. Apparently, the real after party was hosted at Lucian Wintrich's house. You know who Lucian Wintrich is?
Nope.
He
But it
was
sounds like a New Yorker.
he's he was the Twinks for Trump guy from 2016. He was like hanging out with Milo Yiannopoulos a lot. Keno stayed at his place.
Oh, okay.
Mm, mm.
Mm.
So
Mm.
it was a
I don't
good
know.
time.
Twinks for All right.
Yeah, and
Twinks for
Gallo detailed 2 of his unmade film, or not unmade, unreleased films, Promises Written in Water, and what the situation with that was, and also April, which I guess was like a noir, a very gritty, crude noir. It's a
Did he
comedy.
talk? Did he talk about continuing to work with Daily Wire?
No, he didn't mention Daily Wire shut
I
in
know.
at all once.
Good.
I think he forgot.
Good. I mean, nothing against him, but I kind of want him to do different things than what he's allowed to do with them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I think that whole thing is done and over with. The bonfire lit. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. I think they'll at least probably try and take a stab at a Western show if they can acquire the program that Nick Pizzolatto is trying to
Mm.
do, which I think is called In the Tall Grass or something like that. I have no idea if that's on the docket or if that's on the slate or what the situation with that is. We'll see, but I do think that their narrative films are done. This Candace Owens documentary, I don't know if it's even out yet. There's a lot of fire around that because Kanye and Ray J went to the premiere. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I from the New Beverly 35 millimeter print screening of the Brown Bunny, according to Gallo himself, someone uploaded a video online of him talking about how he's working on a film at the moment that he's directed and he wrote the script to. I don't know if those will ever see the light of day, but that would be great.